Hello and welcome to the Warrior Nation F1 podcast. It is. I'm glad you've joined us for this first episode, and I'm joined as ever by Ollie. Hello, Ollie.
Hello.
How's it going?
Not too bad, thanks. And yourself?
Well, I'm good. We got someone's guest in the background, just making too much noise. So we may as well introduce him now. It's Tupperz. Hello, Tupperz.
Good evening.
How's it going?
Yeah, I'm alright, thank you.
Good. And next we have Kerr.
Good evening.
Good evening. Although it may not be evening when people are listening to this. Could be morning, could be afternoon. And last but not least, we have Stephen.
Hello, chaps. I'm
Hello.
good, thank you for asking.
Good.
What about the ladies?
I'm pretty certain when I'm looking on the chat thing here that none of you are ladies, but Ollie, if you'd like to oblige...
Well, we're not talking to each other, we're talking to everyone.
Okay.
The world.
I'll do my part again then. Hello, world. There you go, you happy?
Hello, ladies.
Hello, ladies.
If there are any ladies watching this, or sorry, listening to this, we are not compatible mates.
So last time out, last race out, it was India at the Buddha International Circuit, and the race was one of the best I think we've ever seen. But there was a lot of controversy, wasn't there, Ollie?
Yes, there was a lot of controversy.
Tell us about it.
Well, I think most of it centred around Kerr and his very violent corners.
Tupperz is laughing. You didn't see much of it, Tupperz, because you were leading from the front pretty much.
Yeah, I did a lot about it though.
Yeah, it was quite a lot in the chat that was going on. I think it's only fair that Kerr defend himself.
I think there were several incidents watching back Steve's perspective on YouTube.
What, as in me getting shunted in the side?
Oh, let's
To
not
be
go
fair,
there, shall
I
we?
was on your side. After I watched the video, I was, for a few incidents, I was on your side.
Just a few? Oh man. No support, man, no support. India was a very controversial race, but it was fun in its own way. I did, in the last 10 or so laps, spin my car twice and just end up fighting with Baby Bell at the back, so it wasn't the best result for me. I would have liked to finish in the points, but c'est la vie.
C'est la vie, indeed. But the crashes weren't the only thing that happened. Tupperz won the race. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, congratulations.
I think we should do some sort of post-race interview like they've started doing on Formula One events now.
Oh no.
You got to talk about your race and explain what happened and how you won.
Well,
Yeah,
I pulled the trigger and away the car went. I turned the analog stick when I needed to, and I braked in the braking places.
I'm glad we asked you
Very
that.
informative.
Brilliant.
I've heard that you feel so unchallenged in the league that you may be running down the straights championship manager at the same time.
That has been a rumour, with me being a droid and I've got my Ethernet cable attached to my spinal cord. I can obviously multitask, but it does get quite tricky if there isn't a long enough straight. India did allow me to click bits here and there, but apart from that, it was... Nah, I'm shouting bollocks.
Brakes
Wow.
were long enough to make that one key transfer. Wonderful.
And that is the sort of banter you can expect us to have and to throw about at each other during the race. Talking of which, it gives me a nice opportunity to segue into a little feature that we have called Best Banter. It's not the best name in the world, but the race's best banter came from Josh, and here's a little clip of what he said.
Up next, bowfar. Come on. I'm gonna milk you, bowfar. I'm gonna milk you.
Really? And what will you do with this milk when you get it?
Put it on my shreddies. Oh dear.
I didn't actually hear it at the time. I watched back Ox's footage the following morning, at 5 o'clock in the morning, and upon hearing that, nearly woke the entire house up with my laughter. I could not believe that someone wanted to milk someone, let alone put it on their shreddies. So very tasty, I'm sure.
Well, I can say very much so that I have never tasted my own milk, nor that I believe that I actually have any milk. What was your reaction to it, Tupperz, at the front of the pack?
I believe I did have a little giggle to myself about it, but other than that, it's just the sort of stuff you expect to hear in the league.
Did it take you out of the zone for a second?
No, not really. I can't remember. I was on track. I know I was either on the long straight or I just turned off the long straight, so I was quite comfortable.
I find being spoken to when I'm racing quite difficult, and I'm tempted to turn the sound off tonight and just focus on the race, because I was racing, I was catching fatal. I mean, this is backmarker stuff. It's not really very exciting, but I was on a fresh set of options, and I had a new wing, and I was on high fuel mix 3, and I was catching him something like 2 or 3 seconds a lap, and he said to me, Ollie, how are you catching me without a front wing or something? And I said, oh, I've got a front wing, and then at that point I spun and went off.
Did you lose your front wing?
Yep.
Did you have to make a trip to Finn's Wings?
I did. I make several trips to Finn's wings.
For those of you that don't know, is he the founder? Finbot?
Yes,
Is he
I think Finbot is the founder of the league, yes. Himself and Fatal started the league back in September, late September of last year, 2012.
And Finbot does lose a lot of front wings. We do hear him complain quite a lot about crashing, and I can speak from personal experience. By following him quite a lot, he does lose control of the car.
And I could do with him losing one tonight, I have to say.
Yes, that brings us nicely on to the championship standings, because it's all heating up, isn't it? Was it three races left?
4 races including tonight left.
Four races including tonight. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, we're doing Australia, aren't we? Because we didn't do it. Did we not do it?
The first race at Australia was run with a handful of members back in late September, and it was run with AI. And basically was scrubbed off because none of the actual drivers ended up scoring any points. They all finished outside the top 10. The first official league race was the next round in Malaysia, and because we now have the benefit of a full league and some, it was decided that we would go back to Australia for the last round, which Formula One in the late 90s, or mid 90s I should say, always seemed to end in Australia. And I think it's nice that we're going to be going back to Australia. So it's almost going to be a back-to-back, really, between the end of Season 1 and the beginning of Season 2.
Although in the 90s it was Adelaide they normally went to instead of Melbourne.
Yes, it was. I think Melbourne started as the first round of the season in 96, I think it was.
Knowledge. Nice. So who's leading the championship?
Obviously, I am leading the championship. No, I'm kidding on. The championship leader is one of our guests, Tupperz, who has a 99-point lead over Shiraz with 4 races to go, which is only 100 points available. He has pretty much blown up the Drivers' Championship, which makes it more of a mid-table race.
Unfortunately, shock horrors, I have news for tonight, and that is that Shiraz will not be racing tonight.
Oh.
So all that has happened is Tupperz just has to complete this race, and he has won the title.
Well, he has to have one. Oh, yeah, actually,
I don't even have to complete it.
Well, you know, if you want to go that far, Tupperz, I'll happily not accept your points haul that you'll take tonight.
It's never dead set about who's going to win. It's a very open league, although Tupperz does have such a commanding lead. It's pretty open, isn't it?
Well, and the positions say like 3, 4, 5, and 6 between Cube, Josh, Kyle, and Ferrari fan. It's a very sort of close race because That's the point difference are 205, 186, 137, and 122. So there's 2 battles going on there for those positions, which in the last 4 races could really open up.
Yeah. And for next season, we've got, Stephen knows the best about next season's kind of qualification rules and things like that. I'm not sure everyone fully understands. Give us a lowdown.
Yes, so in order to make it fair, or fairer, I should say, for Season 2, the top 8 finishers in the league will each have to pick a separate team, with the champion getting the first pick, and so on and so on and so forth. If there are duplicate picks, then you have a reserve option. If a reserve option doesn't work out, then the highest finishing constructors in the 2012 that's available would go to that driver. Then in reverse order, from 8th back to 1st, they get the chance to pick the teammate from the resulting drivers that would then fall into the driver's market. So with that in mind, there's battles all the way up the grid to try and shimmy themselves into the best possible position for next season, whether they're in the driver's market trying to get themselves to the top of the pile to be one of the first picked, or whether you're trying to get into that top 8 or high as you can in that top 8 to get a more favourable choice of team, shall we say. So it's really exciting stuff. It should provide lots of entertainment in the last 4 rounds. Everyone battling, everyone with something to fight for.
Definitely feel that as someone who's kind of towards the bottom end. I haven't been at every single race, and I only started, like 3 or 4 weeks in. So I was never realistically going to get like a massive points haul for myself. But I still have a lot of fun, and it's still a really, really good league to get into. So looking forward to, looking ahead to the next race in Abu Dhabi. Early form suggests that Tupperz is going to take the win again. I think you did like a 139 or something, you said, in practice?
I can do a low 140, which I did last night. A 39 I can't do in the Williams, but I have done in the car that I will be driving for next year.
That's ominous.
Ooh.
And what car is that, Tupperz?
It's one of those that I really can't tell you about yet.
I keep telling everyone it's big, it's green, and it's fast.
It's the Hulk.
It is the Hulk, yes.
Definitely the Hulk. What about you, Ollie? What are your kind of predictions for yourself? How do you think you're going to do?
Well, I'm pretty concerned because I've found the setup in time trial, but I haven't practiced it in race form, so I'm not sure what tyre wear is going to be like, and I think I'm going to end up doing 2 stops.
How about yourself, Stephen?
I think I'm struggling for pace, I have to say. Struggled with the setup all week. Lack of track time is what I put it down to, unfortunately, with other things going on outside of the league. In the practice sessions, struggling to get anywhere near the 46s on race pace. So I think my race is going to look like a very quiet one. Try and out of trouble and hope to God that the people in front of me have a few little sticky situations that perhaps I can benefit from.
Always the opportunist.
Well, you have to be. I think you have to be.
Yeah, especially for the kind of mid to low points.
Yeah, my only point this season has been when there were 11 people racing and Kerr DC'd halfway through, so I got a point for 10th place.
How about you, Kerr?
I think I'm going to have a strong race tonight after the practice sessions I've been having with Finbot. I have been putting in some pretty quick times. I know the tyre strategy I'm going for, and I hope to match my position, which is 4th.
Okay, strong words from Kerr there. Right, so that's all we have time for on this episode, the first episode. But be sure to come back for the second ones, and we hope to see you on the track. So until next time, it's goodbye from me, Bowfar. It's goodbye from Ollie.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from our guests, Tupperz.
Bye!
Stephen.
Good night.
And Kerr.
I'm watching you.
We'll see you again. Bye-bye.